welcome back. What we're going to start looking at in this video is we've spent some time using a lot of our sketches and doing a lot of skills with our rectangle tool. We're going to move on now and start looking at using our circle, our line and our arc tools. So I'm going to start my 2D sketch, choose my XY plane as standard. Now to use my circle, again it's the exact same process as doing any extrusion. So you would draw your circle, dimension the size you would want it to be, finish sketch, choose extrude, 3D model, extrude, then choose how much you wanted to make that extrude by. You've then got the additional option of starting your sketch. Now with a curved object, however, this is where it is different. You can't sketch directly onto a curved object. You have to sketch onto a flat face. So this is something you'll have to look at a later on video on how to actually draw on this surface. But for this video we're going to look at starting a sketch on our flat face here, drawing another circle, not worrying about size, finish sketch, choosing extrude, choosing a subtract option, pressing OK, and then cutting a hole through our object. Now, moving forward from that, if I just quickly undo my commands to get back to my sketch mode at the start, we're then going to look at editing that shape and manipulating it. So what I can actually do is when we overlap lines and overlap shapes, so if I was to, for instance, use my line tool and draw my lines out here, the difference being if I had this line, or that drawing should I say, and that drawing, whereas this drawing is an open shape, there's a massive gap here. Technically this shape here is enclosed, there are no gaps. So the difference this allows is when I was to, for instance, go finish sketch and choose extrude, this one I can't select. I can click the line, but it would come up an error. This one here is a closed shape, so I can click this shape and this shape at the same time, because I've got two profiles, two drawings, set the size I want, press OK, and when I press OK, because I've said I am done with my drawings, all my sketches should disappear, so I'm only left with my 3D model. So there's your first random shape. If we go back, just undo. What I've then got the option of doing is using my line and my arc tool again. So line, let's try drawing just a random shape with my line tool. There we go. Right. I've then got my arc tool, so I'm going to click the start, click the end, pull up and click. Now, when we're joining shapes together, this is really important. If our shapes are intersecting, whereas with the line tool, this was a continuous line where I click several times, it then intersects. If I wanted to start another shape, which I will in this stage, I need to find what's called a green snap node. So when my wee circle here that's yellow goes green, that means I'm snapping onto the end of that shape, and that's really important because that means there are no gaps in your drawing. So I'm going to click that, click inside of my random shape, click to choose my curve, and then I'm left with this kind of funky odd shape. Now, as you saw in the previous second ago, when I then went to extrude that, I had to extrude them as three separate parts or three separate drawings. The way around that is if I choose my trim option, I can trim any lines I don't need. So I don't need that line because I want that to flow together. I don't want these wee bits here. Don't want this, and I don't want these lines. So I'm left with one weird shape that is wonderful. Finish sketch. Choose my extrude option under my 3D model tab, and I'm left with now my little unique shape. Hope you found that video interesting. Well done for doing it. Have a wee play around with these commands. Move on to the next video and make sure to always use those green snap nodes. See you folks.